Live. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Yo, me getting nice for y'all. Look, I messed up. What up, twin? Shout out to Big Pun, Mr. Rios. You know what I'm saying? Miss Liza, Cuban Link, the Legend, Baby Pun. See, I got my joint right here. What up, twin? What up, twin? Cuban Link, the Legend. I salute you, my brother. And but I gotta go away from being an artist. I gotta be a teacher right now. Official test start time 2 minutes. 5 pages, 5 paragraphs each. 5 sentences each paragraph. 5 words per sentence. 5 computer spaces in between. 5 revisions. You can use your hyper-scientific. You can use any artificial intelligence or technology, but you must show the work and share it with the class. If you don't show the work and share it with the class, I'm going to assume all you did was use technology. You will get 0 credit for it. cyrexblacks@gmail.com, 504-202-5915. Hit me up on the net. McLaren's is in, so I have quite a bit of some McLarens for sale. I'll open up the dealership in a little bit, so we want to make sure we get that out of the way. Let's get the day started. And here we go. Check me out. Check it out right about now. The fuck soul, brother. Check it out now. Yeah, baby. This is what you need right here to start your day. Look what we're offering you guys. All the artwork. We do this because we love you guys. Check this out, baby. Check this out. Now I'm gonna fix this thing so we can be franchise compatible. Right? All right. So we got that. First and foremost, we have to hydrate. So make sure you get yourself a large Mick water with ice. Is that amazing, right? All right, so let's get that situated. Everything is charged. We're using remote power, but I have my other platform that I need to charge because I was unable to charge everything yesterday. And there is an additional power brick that I need to charge up. Okay, flux capacitor is fluxing. We found the lucky penny, so we could travel through time today. What else? Shout out to all of our sponsors. We greatly appreciate you. VaynerMedia Challenge is still on. Shout out to Valuetainment. Shout out to my whole team on the neck. Gary Vaynerchuk, Patrick for David podcast. Hey, what's your next move, right? Choose your enemies wisely. You got to look into it. Principles by Ray Dalio. Give me one quick second. For the video game system, we're very advanced. Wearable technology, we're very advanced. Testing new systems and different market applications. But the talk of the town is Warner Brothers, and that's what we're going to dive into very deep today. We're going to do it in segments, and we're going to do our very best. Let me fix this a little bit, get swagged up. You know what I mean? I feel great. Had an amazing day. Had a pretty cool meeting with some of my loved ones, and as I feel in my heart, good will come from all of this. Give me one quick second. Let's see, I have one of my clients here. Give me one quick second. I'm going to step aside, speak to one of my clients real quick. You know what? I have one ask. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. That's one of my clients. I was telling her pass by my office later on. They passed by earlier, but I had to get my behind over here. So long story short, as you just heard, because I'm Bluetooth, right? I want to discuss the dynamic of each opportunity in a way that is easily digestible. I feel in my heart, looking at it with like a spiritual compass, that none of these things happen spontaneously. Had these things not happened in the way that they did, we wouldn't be in the position where we are right now. So I have no choice but to multitask. So my day to day is business meeting after business meeting. This, that, and third. Negotiations are always ongoing. Even though I have a team and a staff, anytime their workload or workflow is overwhelmed, it has to come back to me. So I do my best to kind of balance all these things out, right? So let's break down the dynamics of everything. You have Warner Brothers, you have Netflix, you have Paramount, and you have my franchise, right? My music catalog. Let's go back to 2023. I think it was around March, April, or May. Offer is made for my career, the catalog. I decline it, but I used that offer to create another album, another project, and we ran with it for the marketing campaign. They came back with like two or three counter offers, and every time they came back, I continued to increase the price. They're the reason why I built the system that is now known to the common consensus as Minek. I'm one of the first 10,000 power users, the most expensive person on the neck, period. So it was my way of protecting myself, because this way, these companies couldn't just sit down with me and have access to my catalog and my intellectual property, and I walk away because they gave me a deal that I wouldn't accept, because I'm losing money. While I'm negotiating, there's non-disclosure agreements. And if I'm negotiating with one corporation, they're going to make you sign that agreement so that you don't negotiate with their competition. So there's no insider trading. Like, if one label is negotiating, they're going to make sure they block out every other offer that's coming in, which, if you notice, that's exactly what's happening with Warner Brothers. So initial offer, with the counters, first deal on the table, $400 million. We counter about 985 million. We counter again. When we counter back, we go over $1 billion. That's a world record. I'm in the history books forever. From 2023 to 2024, if I'm not mistaken, so about a year's time, maybe 2 years. We can even expand it to the beginning of 2025. Warner Brothers, by not taking that deal, I'm going to say this slowly. Warner Brothers, by not taking that deal, lost $5.5 billion. So if they would have given me $2 billion or $2.25 billion, they would have been in the green $2.25 billion or more. But because they didn't take the catalog, this is what they lost, directly and indirectly. From that 2-year time span, and we're estimating above, right? From that 2-year time span, they just reported about a month ago, or maybe 3 weeks ago. I want to say 3 weeks ago because the negotiations happened right after those 2 following weeks. So let's go with 3 weeks as an estimate, right? They just regained 780 million. So out of 5.5 billion, they're still in the whole, what, 4.72 billion? From the $400 million offer to when it went to 985, and then, over a billion, 2 billion, 2.5. Let's narrow it down to the first 3 offers: 400 million, 985, and 1 point something. The 1 point something was a line of credit, so let's just go with 1 billion. Right in the middle, 780 million. So my bet, my investment was accurate 100%. Attention to Mr. Josh J.O., attention to Team Plan Me, attention to Team TMP, attention to Mauricio Ruiz. This is why I cannot exist in their universes. We were right down to the penny. 2023 passed. I broke the records 2021. Broke the records 2022. I broke the records 2023. I broke the records 2024. I broke the records 2025. That's a 5-year run. That's not a triple crown. That's 5 crowns in a row. When they report this to the market, give me 1 quick second. Let me send this to corporate before we go deeper into it, because again, it would be a disservice. Give me 1 quick second. And let me secure the network real quick. Okay, so network is secured. Let me send this to corporate. That way I can have it there. Give me 1 quick second. Because that's another thing too. I've been traveling, so I haven't had a chance. I'm kind of doing everything in real time. Look who's there. Look who we got there. Look who we got there. That's my big brother. You heard me? Yeah, fine. This, you know what I realized? This is gonna be a super home run. This is gonna be a major, major home run. And I just realized that everything is multiplying. Um, let's put this up real quick. Okay. So this way we'll go we'll go on things. So now let me send this to the other corporate branches so that everybody can have the link and there's no excuse. Okay. Back real quick. Shout out to my wife Samantha, doing your thing. Um, shout out to Veed, Team Africa. Veed, we need to have a meeting. Let's do it for this Wednesday, but I'm gonna see if we could do it before then. Probably later on today, because that's gonna be important too. Um, trying to think. Um, there might be a way to actually. Oh, okay, I see. Mm, okay, this way, you guys will see. Everybody could go on the Discord. We're gonna do a multicast because we might as well. Even though I want to check the markets, um, this way we'll have input from that microphone right there. All right, so back to the situation, right? So about 2 3 weeks ago, I mean I need to hydrate. See, I'm going rapid fire, but I can't. I need to slow down. 1 second. You gotta stay focused. Boy, gotta stay focused, yo. So they report that they are going to, you know, put it in their quarterly statement that they've made back 780 million. Still puts them at this deficit, right? 4.72 billion, something crazy like that. And again, we can Google and double check the actual exact figures because they're not really going to post all of it. We have to check public domain to find out. So now Netflix, Warner Brothers is in serious trouble. The worst decision they could have made was not to take my catalog. For the record, and let the record show, let history prove history will always be right. Netflix comes in and makes an offer. There's a lot of partnerships going on. Let's talk about them. OpenAI, ChatGPT, Disney, Bob Iger's team, ESPN, Star Wars, Marvel, and the list goes on and on and on and on and on. They come in using stocks. So they're coming in with a line of credit as a loan, but it's a personal banking loan because it's their preferred stock. It is not a cash deal. Let's put that on the board. So you have that deal going on. We're going to come back to Italy. We're going to come back to Juventus. But let's just put those two deals as examples. Let's on graphics, put me up on the board. Let's have some examples. Paramount counters because Paramount is in the competition with Disney Plus. Disney Plus, Paramount Plus. What does Paramount Plus have over Disney? Intellectual property. So when the latest Top Gun came out with Tom Hanks, I mean not Tom Hanks, with Tom Cruise, it was a delayed release because they had it first. Went to theaters, they had it first. So only certain franchises for movie theaters had access, and of course Paramount Plus streamers. Why is that important? Because the catalog is the key here. If my catalog goes on Sony, I mean not on Sony, if it goes on Disney Plus, and there's a new subscriber, and the first thing they select catalog, I get the credit for it. I get the royalty for that. It doesn't matter if it's a show, a docuseries, a music video, a song, a stream. It doesn't matter. Whichever goes first, once you start the program, that's where the credit goes to. Why is that important? Because it is the future of music. Why do you think we're building a video game system? These companies don't want to just negotiate the music catalog. They know I have the Magic on one system, and that's what they want. They want the magic. Can't have it. All you need to do is figure out a way to integrate the system into their already existing networks. So in that competition, boom, the light bulb goes off. There's blood in the water. Sharks are coming. Here comes Paramount. Oh, it was a credit line deal. Oh, it was preferred stock. Here's a cash deal. Worth more. By percentage points, 24 to 30%. But there's hesitation. Warner Brothers is like in a plea for mercy on a corporate standpoint, but they're wounded. They have a very deep gash, and it's called $5.5 million in the negative. Now it comes to the surface overseas, international markets, Middle East, Asia, huge markets, Europe, not the United States. The United States is not first. The United States is last when it comes to technology. They're not first. They are last. Deals put on the table. Oh, one more thing before I continue. Hold on. Give me one quick second so we can save this here. Hold up. This way I don't forget. And everybody has it. This way, as we go into specifics, we're not missing any details. You know what I mean? Give me one quick second. Okay, so that's the entire management. Everybody has it, right? All right. So they come in, stealth, they swoop in, lock in on the target, bombs away. It just comes to the surface on the international markets that they had 10 days to respond. That means for my entrepreneur and my business students, that means that they're negotiating in the non-disclosure agreement a specific time frame for modifications. Shout out to the top music attorney, Miss Crystal Delgado, my lawyer. Shout out to the Delgado Law Group, Austin, Texas. Come check us out. Please like, subscribe, share. Go to Miss Crystal's YouTube channel, my top music attorney, and check out the podcast. Make sure you leave us some guitars, likes, thumbs up, give us some explosions, all that good stuff. So they come in, but nobody's seeing the digital play. They're not focused on technology. Their emotions are on the business side. So let's take note of that from my entrepreneur students. Negotiation, pitch decks, business plans, proposals. Let's put that on the board. So let's create a separate board, right, for that. Now they have 10 days. If it was declared as far as the SEC filing, which was probably from the Friday before, but hit the market Monday because they're closed over the weekends. Plus, we had this government shutdown, which came up in the discussion. So take note for that for my students. That'll be on your finals. Um, 10 days from the filing. So that means they filed the proposition instead of doing like a corporate takeover, which they could have tried. They could have tried the corporate takeover on Monday. So that means that not today, not tomorrow, Wednesday. Now I see. I just thought about that. I'm thinking today's Monday. No, they have until Wednesday to go public. Now there's concerns with number one, movie theater owner of franchises, different groups, different people, different demographics. They're concerned that this is going to hurt their business because if, let's say, Paramount takes it over, we have an issue with the lots and the employees of the lots just in the state of California. Doesn't mean they don't have other places, but look at the emergence of people such as Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, everything he's been doing, investing in Louisiana. Shout out to Louisiana. My family's from there, original brothers, you already know. Team Estilo, baby, that's what we do, right? My family's famously known for our chicken. Yes, I'm one of the original brothers, and it's hard to beat our recipe, baby. We're top 5 in New Orleans. Um, all the investments there is similar to a Tyler Perry. They're following the blueprint. They learned what these big movie studios do, and they've done the exact same thing in different demographics where it's better for tax purposes, for labor, and things like that. So they can create a better product more efficiently, more affordably, more effectively. So their concern is what these motion picture companies are doing is they're using the guideline for awards. Let's say awards say that is a mandate, right? That a movie has to be in the movie theater 2 months. That's a mandate, right? Anything above that is great. Anything below that doesn't qualify for an Emmy, an Oscar, or many, many other awards that there are. There's millions of awards all over the world, but the really, really big ones like the Oscars, etc. So whatever that threshold is, their concern is that they're only going to have access to these films for the minimum amount of time. If the minimum is 3 weeks, that's it. If the minimum is 4 weeks, that's it. Not a day more. While still paying these premiums because of previously negotiated contracts before the pandemic or after the pandemic, depending on the variable between those two figures, before the pandemic and after the pandemic. Whatever those negotiations are, this is 5 years later. The economy has changed. The world has changed. Technology has changed. User interfaces has changed. Uh, Power user engagement versus non-power user engagement in the United States, outside the United States. Because don't think and don't believe that just because Disney Plus is incorporated in the United States, it's not viewed all over the world. These are international businesses. These people are brands that are already solidified 2, 3, 4, 5 generations. They're not going anywhere for the next foreseeable 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 generations. So double whatever they've been in the market. And we use Juventus as an example that's been in the market 100 years. We can guarantee they're going to be around for another 200 years. And for my students, take notes because I want your paper to be written on those variables I just gave to you. So from 2 minutes to 29.41, to give you an example. Now, another concern is the actual lots in position in California, prime real estate, historical real estate. Um, they just did an article. My PR team did an article on Dick Van Dyke, 99 years old, looking back at the still shots owned by Disney for Mary Poppins. There's so many thoughts and emotions that flow through me just because I'm an artist. And 100 years from now, that's how I'm going to be looking back on my catalog. How is his health condition? How is his financial stability? Long term, what was left behind for his descendants? Does that make sense? These are the things I need you to focus on when you're creating a business. You build a company today that's going to be around for 500 years, you got something. Anything below that, with the speed that technology is developing, is subpar, below standards. Because quantum computing is going to be at the palm of your hand. They're predicting 2 years. So if they're predicting 2 years, I'm going to divide that not by two, by three. So in the next 7, 8 months, this is the truth. This is what we're working on. What's going to happen 7 months from now? 7 months from now, we'll be in July, getting ready for back to school in August. Everything starting back up, sports programs, athletic programs, educational programs, etc. Now, what's going to happen when those studio lots are removed? Prime real estate, nothing there. It has to be repurposed. Shout out to Team Manny Cashman. Great success. Excellent opportunity for me from a real estate standpoint, but not so good for this industry. Why? Because now you're going to displace this herd, this mass of people that work 20-hour shifts in 5 or 6 different overlaps. So they work 20 hours one day, take a few days off, and work another 20 hours. So their schedules are always overlapping. You have the guild associations, you have performing rights associations, you have all these different unions and union-like entities in place that are saying, no, 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 wait a minute, we're going to sue. You're going to come up with all this money, you're going to take away these jobs, these opportunities, you're going to shut us down. Oh no, there's going to be lawsuits, there's going to be reparations due, right? Now, if Netflix is awarded this plea of mercy from Warner Brothers, then maybe those theater owners can renegotiate something that will put them at ease, finding a compromise, building a bridge between both standpoints, preserving those jobs, maybe adjusting it. Maybe those unions can negotiate for a little bit more, or maybe a royalty percentage of whatever they produce, or something in that nature. Because remember, those negotiations are going to be done behind closed doors. That's not going to come to the public for PR reasons until a mutually beneficial agreement is established among all parties, because everybody has to agree. If they all want to come to the party, they all have to agree to behave and take care of each other, right? Great. Where does that leave us? We just turned down a deal um, from several investment firms for $200 million in cash, $500 million line of credit. As soon as those negotiations took place, challenges, bickering, arguments, different perspectives, people bumping heads. I turned down the deal. And I'm very happy to tell you that. Because if you go from the lowest standpoint, which was the name of the album, 400 million, I would have been in the green 380 million. From the 985 million, we kind of teetered everything down to about 800 million. The difference was $20 million. I was on the money. Anything above a billion, another record, and I would have still been in the green. You know why? Because it recuperated 780 million in less than a year and a half. Because if you go, let's say May of 23 to May of 24, that's 1 year. May of 25, that's 2 years. And let me see, May, you have June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So in a year, 7 months. Any financial institution term is going to be at least what, 72 to 100 months? It did that in 20 something percent of the time. And obviously, that's just repaying back, return on investment. That doesn't include real market value of the catalog, which has gone up because the catalog is almost double the size from what was being negotiated. So all those figures that we started with, we need to multiply by a factor of 2. My catalog by itself would have saved Warner Brothers. They wouldn't be in this position. We wouldn't be having this masterclass. We would have been in another universe. Now it's important to see what's going to happen. Now it's extremely important to see how everything is going to work out. This is what most people don't understand. You cannot bring my catalog down to the size of your mentality because you want to focus on music. We are a technology company. It supersedes everything. We're into everything because technology is in everything. So we are in the everything business. There's no deal too small. There's no deal too big. There's no deal that we won't consider. We're here to do business every single day. Every single day. Now, that leaves us in a position of privilege and power because now this is common consensus, right? The entire universe knows and fully understands where we're coming from. We've created our own platforms to do our own media and our own, organic everything. When we come to the negotiation table, we're coming with this leverage because now we have the data sets and the data points. So when you hear me say things like shout out to Mauricio Ruiz or attention to Mauricio Ruiz, it's to help him understand that that universe doesn't exist anymore. You need to come to this universe. I'm already here. I've been here for a very long time. We're not trying to get to that universe. We're trying to stay in this universe and go to the next one. And we'll need people like a Mauricio Ruiz if he so chooses that in his heart. If he's willing to open his mind to the potential and bring the people closest to his heart, those are the only people we need. We don't need anybody else. We don't want anybody else. We don't even want to have a conversation with anybody else. We don't want to have a meeting with them. We don't care about their insight. We don't care about what they've done. We're not looking back at the scoreboard of 1977. We're not doing that. This deal is happening tomorrow. Tomorrow. By the time a lot of people are able to view this, the deal's going to be closed. If it hasn't been closed already, don't think that we're not waiting for an update all day today. All day today, we're waiting to see did they close the deal and what are the details of the deal. So we turned down $200 million in cash, which for me is Bitcoin, and a $500 million credit, which for me is Bitcoin. There's no other way that I would accept it. What does that mean? Even at 700 million, we're below the 780 million threshold that Warner Brothers gained back. Because you can see for the foreseeable future, if they're doing it at this pace, 2, 4, 6 years, they're going to recuperate that. But it's still below by $80 million. And that's a low ball figure. For people that have a small mentality, please fit that 780 million into that space right there. When Warner Brothers is down 5.5 billion with a B, put that on the table. Tether digital token currency offered 1.3 billion for Juventus to Italy and to those families that own Juventus. They politely declined. Not interested. Legacy. Why? Because they've had Juventus for over 100 years. Think about owning the New York Yankees for 100 years. I'm going to own the New York Mets for the rest of eternity. That's my perspective. This is my living will and testament. Crystal Delgado, my lawyer, the only person I trust with my estate. She knows what I love. She knows what I like. She knows my perspective. Everything is there available to make these decisions. So they're saying legacy, a brand that is already established, including certain, sports teams, including brands such as Ferraris and, the likes. The same people that I work with, these are my business partners. I am Team Ferrari, even though I'm Team Chevrolet. But I'm also Team McLaren, I'm Team Lamborghini, I'm Team Porsche, I'm Team Hennessy, I'm Team Aston Martin, I'm Team Remax, and the list goes on. I'm Team Bugatti, whatever you want, no problem. 504-202-5915, hit me up on the neck, cyraxflax@gmail.com for all business inquiries. Link up with me on LinkedIn. I'm kind of a big deal over there. We are available to do business 24/7. That's all we're here to do. We're not here for any other reason other than business. So now the world is in this suspense. What's going to happen? The technology that I developed to measure the value of my catalog takes all these factors in every single second, forever. Intellectual property, that comes along with the negotiation. What are we negotiating? Only the auction. We brought everything down to the level of your mentality. If your mind is this big, we're going to bring it down to this big. All we are securing venture capital for, angel investors for, is the auction. What's the current record? 200 million. Why am I going to take a deal from these investment firms for $200 million in Bitcoin plus $500 million in Bitcoin as far as a line of credit, when at the auction we're going to clear that in 1 second, as soon as the hammer drops? This is day one for our company. We just started. We have the catalog, we have the technology, we have all the systems, everything in-house, we have zero debt. We don't owe anybody anything. Don't talk to me about your small universe of what you know and what you did, what you could have done, what if. We don't live on what if. We live on the numbers. The numbers say the business deal happens tomorrow. So today is a very important day for all of our lives. Our lives will not be the same after tomorrow. And if it closes in the international markets, it'll happen before the morning time tomorrow. This is what's in the balance. This is the hidden secret. This is what they're not going to talk about. As messed up as some people could have been to try to derail what was happening, we live between Bitcoin and Ethereum. My catalog, this is Bitcoin, this is Ethereum, and this is my music catalog. There's nothing you can do about it. This is why all the challenges are here and they're present here. When we check the markets today, what are we checking for? Any element that has to do with this fundamental core breakdown in baby food terms so that the peanut gallery can digest it. Here you go. This is for you. Here you go. That's a little bit more. But wait, there's more. Now we proceed with caution. Once again, negotiations have closed. So let's talk about some of our business partners. Let's talk about Valuetainment. Let's talk about VaynerMedia. Let's talk about Patrick Bet Dave. Let's talk about Manek. Once Connect came online, it built a system where I didn't have to fight through management, through my team, through my lawyers, to tell the labels they want to sit down with me after I've been offered $400 million in Bitcoin, which was this is the first offer. Remember, we went past 985, no 989, and then we went over $1 billion. So all this is documented, right? So now I'm coming with the illest leverage, and the catalog was growing, but not at the pace that it grew after the negotiation did. We set a price, a few $1 million, raised it. Every time they would come back, we raised it, raised it, raised it. It was because of Minex's technological breakthrough that the light bulb goes off. Wait a minute, we got something here. Minex is going to be the lock on the safe. No combination lock, nothing opens. So all my contacts are public domain. My phone number, my email address, corporate address, all that stuff. You can call me. You can leave a message. You can speak to somebody in my staff. We can have a conversation. As soon as you start to negotiate, cling, everything locks. You know what that lock is called? It's called Connect. You want access? There's a minimum. 87.75 million. 87.75 million. I got an offer on the table, 200 million in cash, $500 million line of credit. Previous deals like this were, I think, $150 million cash and $150 million in the line of credit. Why would I do that when I can make that in one phone call? Because if you go over those 15 minutes, the price is double that. 172, 173 million. And the third phone call, it's double that price. 320, 30, 40 million. Why would I take this deal when what they want to do is have access not just to the auction, they want access to the long term of the catalog, which that's not even on the negotiating table. We don't even speak that language. Let me break down to you what my consensus was. Okay, they threw a lowball figure. Of course, I laughed at it, drank a cup of coffee. Then they made a better offer, which of course, that's just people like to play these games in corporate America. 100 million on the table. So I automatically know I could get 225 million. When they told me 100 million, I knew I could get the 200. And I said, look, after they agreed, I said, look, that's great that you agreed to that. But all I want is, give me like 88 million, right? Which is a phone call with me on the neck. Just pay my consultation fee, right? Now you have access. And we don't need a line of credit. We don't need nothing else. They were furious. What? What do you mean? I said, listen, we don't need anything because all you're giving me is an advance on my catalog, which is not included. What you're giving me is an advance at the auction, which is not included. You guys will be marketing and promotion. And I reserve the right to use my team. Brandman Sean and his team from No Labels Necessary, VaynerMedia Consulting and that entire staff, Valuetainment Consulting and that entire staff. And then we have other honorable mentions. I would have brought people in like a Wendy Day, for example. Shout out to you, Miss Wendy. You didn't think I'd still be working, right? We'll talk to private. You get what I'm saying? I would bring in my team, people like TMP and Mauricio Ruiz, and just let them go crazy. Just cut them a check. What do you need, Mauricio? What do you need, Gary Vaynerchuk? What do you need, Manny Cashman? What do you need, Floyd Mayweather Jr.? What do you need, Mark Cuban? What do you need, Arlen Hamilton. These are all my business partners. What do you guys need? I got the budget. Go crazy. Go have fun. I got $1 million for every phone call you make. 2 million for every phone call you make. I'm gonna be nice. It's Christmas. I got 2.25 million for every phone call you make for me. Now you understand the universe that I live in, right? Okay. They were furious. They were mad. They were trying to reschedule. They threw Grant Cardone at me because I have a partnership with one of his business partners. Not interested. We could be friends. We could be cordial. But I'm not here for that party. All the fame and stuff, I already told Rami, that's for you. You can have it. Mauricio, you can have the fame. So shout out to Team Mauricio. TMP, y'all can have the fame. Not interested. I'm not here for that. I own a technology company. I have a granddaughter that is a year and a month old. She is the owner of the company. I work for her. It's not in our best interest to be in public view. We are very private, reserved. We're a small family, minority. We're from the villages, but we're people of God. We're really, really good people. I'm a Jewish Republican. I'm a Jew for Jesus. I cannot do business with just anybody. Every offer that is thrown at me is not going to be accepted. When you're talking about Coca-Cola, Sprite, yeah, we could take those deals. Nike, Under Armour, Reebok, Adidas, companies like that, yes. Sleazebag investment firms, not interested. Don't exist in the spectrum for me. So they were so upset that I would take a lower amount because, first of all, return on investment is in 1 second. Because once the hammer drops, return on investment is complete. What percentage do you want? I'll give you a percentage on your loan as a cash offer. That's it. Nothing else. There's access to nothing else. No verticals, no horizontals. Not now, not ever. Period. Zero. But what do they want? The intellectual property. What are they interested in? The video game system. I just need to sell 5 million systems. There's billions of people on earth. I don't need to sell 500 million systems. My company sells 5 million systems. I'm Gucci Landia forever, my friend. You know a video game is $100, right? You know one of my albums is $500, right? But I'm going to sell more records than video games. I'm already in a position of privilege and power. My video games are cheaper than my albums. What if they go together? How much is that worth? How many subscriptions is that? If I put that on your platform, we have Apple, we have Samsung, we have Huawei, we have Xiaomi, we have LG, we have Nokia, we have Motorola. We have Cosmo, and the list goes on and on and on and on. And there's different versions. Asian market release, European release, Central American, Southern American release, Caribbean release, and then the United States release, which will be the watered down version, the plain macaroni version. You're going to have to add salt and pepper. But by that time, it doesn't even matter. We have strategic business partnerships with many companies, and they're all waiting. Watch and prove. The name of the game is results and show and prove. That's it. You know when people talk about it? When the check clears the bank. When the whole world wants access, that's when it's not available. This is what stands in the balance. This is why this is so important. This is why every person in this project is in a position of privilege and power. Now we must yield that power responsibly. With great power comes great responsibility. We're not here to belittle anybody. We're not here to put anybody down. We're not here to say we're better than sliced bread, and we're not going to entertain every single offer. Every offer that comes across my table, I am to personally analyze. $2.25 million for every phone call you make for me. And I'm going to hold that until Christmas. So you guys got what? 9 days? You got 9 days. Clock starts now. 5450. 9:41 a.m. Eastern Time, East Coast Time, December 16, 2025. The video game system is just one vertical. The catalog, more powerful than Paramount's catalog, Netflix catalog, and Disney's catalog, and Warner Brothers catalog. Obviously, I already proved that. My catalog was the juggernaut of what they had. All public domain, all of my books that are published and written, you could read them on LinkedIn for free. Documented, data points after data points. Go back from the beginning. Go back to the first article of Future Tech Plus and go read for yourself. Look at the time frame. Discovery, event after event. Technological insight, foresight of the future over and over and over again. You know what's the best pitch deck for our company? Our books. We write books. We publish books. We're a publisher. We have a media company. We have our own outlets. I'm all over the internet right now. Anybody that's a power user is here right now. Anybody that's not a power user is most likely not here. And we don't want you here if you're not a power user. This is for power users only. You don't know what a power user is? Google it. More albums on the way, more designs on the way, more programs on the way, augmented reality. You see how many prototypes count? In how many years? How many different prototypes? How many different programs? Not just automotive, not just military design, medical designs. You know the size of the medical field? Imagine. This is why the dynamic of the catalog is so powerful, because not only is the technology penetrating, it's establishing itself. It's proven to be a force to be reckoned with. This is why the challenges come. It's the holidays, pressure's already at an all-time high, the economy's moving in all these different directions. That's not by coincidence, that's not by chance. That is by design. So all the corporations are getting their fourth quarter game together. There's not that much time left. We have another 2 weeks, and we're in 2026. If you're doing business right now and you're still thinking about 2025, there's a problem. There's a huge problem. Because 2026 is already upon us. Remember, these companies are investing for the next 1 to 2 years. I'm telling you, 7, 8, 9, 10 months. We don't have the luxury to wait 24 months. 24 months, Nolani's going to be 3 years old. Walking, talking, running around. You understand me? This is Power Wheels season. You understand me? Everything changes when a baby is able to drive a Power Wheels. What technology are we in? We're in automotive technology, autonomous systems and programs. We've been in that business. This is nothing new to us. This is new to the common consensus, non-power use, which is okay. You're welcome. You guys are here to learn, so we're here to teach you. Think. I see in my mind with my little eyes. Remember, all of these companies, in a sense, shadow each other. They're copying what every other company is doing because they feel like that's the way to do it. If these companies are doing this for success, well, we're going to follow suit. But there is a greater amount of companies, entrepreneurs, visionaries, CEOs, serial entrepreneurs, looking for a unique competitive advantage. How can we bring something different? How do we reinvent the wheel? How can we build this in a different way? Can we make this better? Look at the graphics, how many facets. Look at the data points, all the information. Can we make this better? Can we reinvent this? This is a very good design, by the way. This is a very good design. What are we going to do? What are you going to do as an entrepreneur to put yourself in a position of privilege and power? What are you going to do differently? Where do we stand in all of this? We are a technology company. We have an amazing catalog with a unique competitive advantage. We own everything. We owe nobody nothing. That's it. When these people try to negotiate, they have to come with their A game because I'm always going to negotiate with my A game. And just like Marcus Lemonis, my first deal is always the best. $989 million, $985 million, even $800 million would have been a discount. Why are we as entrepreneurs putting ourselves in a situation? Let's say they would have gave me $1 billion. They would have been up 4.5 billion. Why would I make $1 billion and let them make an additional 4.5 billion? It's because of insecurity. It's because artists feel like if they're not part of the system, they're not valuable. It's because people feel like, well, if my video game system is not on Xbox, or if it's not on Nintendo, or if it's not on Sony, it's no good. No, I make my own system so that my games are optimally designed from the beginning. So the experience you get in my games is not going to be the same in every other system. Oh, and by the way, there's more. It is going to be available in every other system. Duh. We're not leaving any money on the table. Zero money on the table. We're even going to have the mobile version, which is probably going to run better than your Xbox and your PlayStation put together, and more interactive than your Nintendo system. So in the end, God wins. No matter how many doors you try to close, how many challenges, how many this, how many that, in corporate America, none of those things exist. There's investment firms in every country, in every state, in every parish, in every borough, everywhere you go, all over the world. Everywhere I travel, I look for business opportunities. That's the filter that I see the world in. I don't see anything other than business. The challenge and the issue is most people have a consumer mentality. So they look at a nice place and they see what they can consume. No, I look at a nice place and I say, how can I make it better? How can I build it better? Where can I build this exact, let's say, shopping center in the future in another different part of the world? If I make $20 million here, shit, how much can I make in Dubai if I just replicate all of this better in Dubai? What if we take the auction to Dubai? You think that's off the table? It is not off the table. It is 100% not off the table. The United States doesn't want it, we'll take it overseas where they appreciate the technology. You could go buy an album from another artist, but for me, you're going to get the movie, the docuseries, the behind the scenes, the actual album, the lyrics, the art, all these things, all bundled up. You know why? Because everything is boomerang. Everything is coming back. We're not going to talk about digital streams. That's the small, tiny world, we'll call that world. We're not part of that universe. Artists are doing their best to provide the best to the public and getting nothing in return from it. That's about to change. Who do you think is building the next platforms? Who do you think is building the record label of the future? Who do you think is going to sign all of those artists? You got a bad deal? Come on, let me buy you out of that horrible deal. Let me show you how to get this money. What's going to happen when all the independent artists want to compete with my catalog? They're coming to my platform, ladies and gentlemen. Another vertical, another horizontal. Attention, Team TMP. Attention, Mauricio Ruiz. All your favorite artists that nobody cares about, nobody knows about, they're all mine. They're all coming over here. Because the same way I'm protecting my catalog, the same way I'm maximizing my catalog, and everything is locked on the neck, I'm going to protect and fight for all of our catalogs. All of our catalogs. You're not just going to have one artist with the $5 million car. I'm gonna have a legion of artists with the $5 million car and the $100 million record label deal. That's gonna be me. That's what I'm gonna bring to the table. When it's all said and done, that's what I'm leaving behind. So there's no such thing as this artist or these group of artists control one region. No, I'm gonna control the entire region because those are all gonna be my artists. You know how many people are talented? You know how much talent there is in the world? And these companies have done an atrocity with these amazing, beautiful people. I'm going to nurture all of them. I'm going to cure all of their wounds. And the best way I can show my appreciation is by sending you a Bitcoin. What happens? The game changes digitally and analog. Who's at the forefront? We're at the forefront. So take the value of all your favorite companies, squeeze them together. They still don't come close because this growth is quantum. This is quantum. This is a few pennies to a few trillion. That's real quantum growth. All the systems already in place, they can remain where they are. I have no concern. That has never been a priority for me at all, whatsoever. So it puts everything into perspective. Now, do we want to keep talking about business without talking about technology? Is impossible. Once you put on the future glasses, you can't take them off. Now you're thinking, wow, verticals, horizontals. In my catalog, there's at least 8,000 underground, unknown, underprivileged, undervalued artists that I gave an opportunity to. Who do you think is fighting for them? Those are the first artists on my label. All of them. They all got a record. You're in my catalog, I signed you. I'm going to have a real nice check for you. A really, really nice check. In Bitcoin. You could be anywhere in the world. You could be in Africa. Bitcoin. Europe, Bitcoin. Asia, Bitcoin. Canada, Bitcoin. South America, Central America, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. The Caribbean, Bitcoin. God wins. Game over. I broke the system again. I've done it many, many times. Do you know that that's another World Guinness Book of Records? And we don't need Guinness. We're on the blockchain, so you can't fake it on the blockchain. You can't fake it on Web3. You can't fake it on decentralized systems. We are the system. God has given us through this technology all of the power back. Everything that you ever dreamed of, aspired for as a creator is now readily available at the palm of your hands by the grace of God. Now, what you do with that is on you. You could build amazing companies. You could build a decent sized company, a medium sized company. You could build a big company. You're going to have a headache regardless. So it's about what size of headache you can manage. You don't need anybody's approval. You don't need anybody's recognition. You don't need approval. You don't need to be part of their system. I have avoided the industry purposely my entire career. What do you think I'm going to do from this point forward? Now it's going to be more. I'm going to avoid the industry more. I'm going to avoid the media and the limelight even more. I'm going to continue to live a private life. And the more remote and private the demographic is, more of everything that I'm building will be there. Then we rinse and repeat. It's just a cycle. New business ideas, new products, new services, new industries, new trade, new people. I get to cherry pick the people in my company. I get to cherry pick the people in my life. I get to cherry pick opportunities, people, places, and things. I ride with God's people. Guess who's going to be helping God's people? That's it. That's what I wanted to do in my retirement. I don't know what you chose to do with your retirement. That's my life's legacy. That's what I care about. Now we could bring it back down to earthly terms. That's all I'm going to do in my retirement is take care of God's people. That's it. You take it how you want. You perceive it how you want. You do what you want. I'm never going to stop. Never. Nothing's ever going to stop me. Only God. God wins. That's the company slogan. God wins. That's the company motto. God wins. No matter how much evil is for eternity in the universe, God will always win. Good will always win. The good guys are always going to win. I don't just own the technology to make the transformers. I own the transformer, and it transforms into a car because that's what I love. So I can drive them. They could transform into something else, man. Cars. Go speed racer. Go speed racer. Go speed racer. Go. Guess what's going to be included in all of my automotive investments, whether it's retail or it's design or engineering, all have my catalog. When you go to my events, all NFT based, only access you have to my catalog. No artificial intelligence. Value of my catalog quadruples every second. And it only quadruples 4 times because that's what Tupac Amaru said in one of his songs as a kid. He said he won't change the world, but he'll spark the brain that will change the world. That sparked this brain right here. 4 quadruples. What was he talking about? This is 1995, 1996. 4 quadruples every second. Every second. Now, take a moment to digest and process these concepts and have the audacity to speak to me about anything that's not technology. So we'll see you in Japan, and we can build from there. For my students, these are the concepts that I want you guys to speak on. Give me your perspective. Every company, every corporation, every product, every service, every interconnecting vertical and horizontal. Do you see the correlation? Disney Plus, Hulu, Netflix, Paramount Plus. The major movie houses, Netflix, Paramount Plus, and Warner Brothers. The diversification of the portfolios. Warner Brothers has merchandise and they have motion pictures and they have music as well. Think about the legacy of a company, associated with Prince, and companies associated with Madonna, and companies associated with Michael Jackson. The biggest catalog, the Ed Sheerans. I mean, these are the juggernauts of what we're doing. This is the category of what we're negotiating right now. This is the magnitude of everything that we're building. This is what everybody needs to analyze. This is what everybody needs to work on. 2.25 million for every phone call you make on my behalf from now until Christmas. That's everybody's Christmas bonus. Shout out to Team Rami, Team Mr. Josh J.O., Team TMP, Team Delgado, Team Mauricio Ruiz. All of you guys, go get it. I'm waiting. Value for value relationship. What can you do to make it better? What can I do to make it better? What can we do to make it better? And make it better. And make it better. The horse or the carriage first? What do you guys think? The horse or the carriage first? The horse. The catalog. Everything else, water under a bridge. Irrelevant. Augmented reality, crazy. Wearable technology, crazy. Fashion, crazy. The motion pictures, the video game system. The list goes on and on and on. Automotive systems, medical systems, military systems. Done. And all fly stuff because everything has the music. The NFTs that's what turns on the car. Without the NFT, you could buy another Lamborghini, but it won't run like mine. It won't start like mine. It doesn't do what mine does. Absolutely two different things. Your Lamborghini compared to my Lamborghini is a child's plaything. Your car is a toy. My car is a machine. My car talks. I gotta have a conversation with my car as I'm driving. I gotta have a conversation with my car at 225 miles an hour. Your car can't do that. My car can park itself. My car can race itself on the track. I could put 15 of my cars on the track and they could race each other. All praises to God. Thank God that He gave us that technology. Can you imagine the sound system? Can you imagine the video game system inside the car? I have no idea. What about the systems that are based and built to be in your home or in your corporate offices or workspace or creative space? We can make this investment as big as you want it, or we could bring it down to the auction. We could bring it down to that size right there. We could bring the investment down to that size. If your mentality is this big, we'll make it that big. We need the auction. Christy Sotheby's, whatnot. Gary Vaynerchuk, VaynerMedia, Valuetainment. We're all going to be there. You'll have to call through Manek. You'll have to use whatnot. And you have to physically be at Christie's and Sotheby's. And Dubai. And Japan. And China. And Canada. And Central and South America. And the Caribbean. And we're incorporated in the United States. That means we have jurisdiction in the United States as well as internationally. But we also have jurisdiction internationally for the entire conglomerate in everything that we do. So investors are protected 100%. Return on investment the day of the auction. Ideally, time frame, 2025. I want to make sure I close it by this year so that I can pay taxes in advance for the 14th of April. McFly, clock is ticking. We got to get to 88 miles per hour. We need 1.21 gigabytes. Gigawatts. I'm thinking bytes. We need 1.21 gigawatts. NVIDIA has the Gigafactory being built in the Dominican Republic. Home team, home turf. That's me. They have another one in Germany. Families from Italy, from Italy, France, and from Spain. Same team. Fashion. Italy is fashion capital of the world. As far as couture, fashion, all that stuff, consumer experience, France, all right there. Canada, Middle East. We are that bridge. Canada's a huge market, budding market. They're fighting for market cap and market space. The Middle East is still far behind as far as that, but Asia, number one markets. Killing it. Yo, the technology you're going to see in places like Japan and China is world class. My prediction is eventually the United States will get to that point. But we're talking about quality of life, beautiful structures, restaurants, schools, churches, athletic programs, technology programs. Like everything is just progressive. Like just pour all the good stuff and you're only going to get good stuff out of it. Ethically, obviously. But one thing I realized overseas, the culture, people are more willing to still dream. In this hemisphere, this part of the world, it's like this is where dreams come to die. You tell somebody something that you want to do, and instead of looking at the 1% potential, they're going to give you 99% negativity. It's impossible to do it. You're too tall, you're too short. You're too fat, you're too skinny. Your hair's too long, your hair's too short. You like the Yankees, you like the Lakers. You like the Mets, you don't like the Jets. Patrick Bet David owns the Yankees. Gary Vaynerchuk is in the process of buying the New York Jets. I'm in the process of buying the New York Mets. It's going to be my team. Shout out to the Mets, baby. Patrick Bet-David laid out the blueprint for me. It wasn't just business. It wasn't just the books. It wasn't just the courses. It wasn't just the investments. It was lifestyle. It was everything. Now I understand what my mentors, such as Eric Thomas, told me. Yo, this is lifestyle. This cannot be about an event. It can be I'm gonna lose weight for the prom reunion, or I'm gonna lose weight to prove this. That, no, no, no. It's a lifestyle thing. Everything coming together organically, strategically, for the positive, little by little. Where do we get our leads? Very simple. I'm gonna tell you. I'm gonna put you onto the game. Instagram. You use Instagram as a consumer. I use Instagram as a programmer because I'm one of the original programmers, just like Facebook and many other programs, Twitter, etc. You can use it for business if you know how to use the military side of it, like the corporate side of it. You can connect with all the investment firms, all the venture capital firms, and just practice. Submit your proposal, submit your pitch deck. You want an example? Go on apple.com and look at the layout of the website. Optimal, not just to be optimal, optimal to be optimal in their products. So when you go on their website on an iPhone or iPad, the experience is going to be better if you did it in a different, from a different platform. Now, study it like a masterclass. And when you're building your proposal decks, that's how you do it. Now, it doesn't mean just have one template and go submit proposals all year round. At least divide it by segments based on what your rollout or your marketing campaign is, based on your products and your services. Build the pitch deck according to every investment firm. So it's your responsibility to do the research, to see the portfolios that they have, whether or not they have a diversification into technology. Maybe they don't. Don't leave that money on the table. Pursue them. Schedule the meeting, schedule the phone calls, submit the application, send them your credentials, send the proposal and the business plan, host the meeting, listen to the people that represent the investors. What do they want? What kind of return? What's the time frame? What industries are they strongest in? What are their weak points? Is there opportunity in their weak points? Are they diversified technology? If so, how can I engage and secure a deal? If not, how can I engage and secure a deal? It means the same thing. This goes back to Colonel Sanders and the 10,000 no's. You need 10,000 hours to master anything you're doing. So now you have to shift into negotiation and sales ethically, because you still have to have a bridge. You have to have a compromise between yourself, your investment, your product, your service, your industry, and your trade with the investment capital that's available. Of course, if you could do it through a personal loan, go that route. But we have been inclined to use other people's money, because if not, it just sits in a slush fund. It just sits in an investment bank waiting for somebody like you to close that deal. So whatever you close is the profit and the benefit for your business. If you don't close a deal, there's no money coming in. There's no, I'm going to get a paycheck every 2 weeks. It doesn't exist when you are a true entrepreneur. And not just in good times, not just when you're celebrating, yo, I closed the deal. What about the challenging times? That's the real stuff. That's what's coming back. Real people saying, yo, the system needs to change. There has to be a change implemented. We're going to be the arrow, the green arrow of change is going to be us. There's a gentleman where they did a segment on his company in 60 minutes. Yesterday, I did a class. I taught an engineering class on it. He makes future weapons. I don't necessarily agree, but I don't necessarily disagree. My position is not to agree or disagree. My position is to understand how somebody that came from nothing, sold the company for $2 billion, went back and made a few $100 billion investing into these technologies. I could take all his weaponry design and make a civilian. and make a medical application and make a civilian application where it actually helps people instead of destroying stuff. My political view, that's where my money is. Anything that I see that is, let's say, a weaponized design, I turn it into a medical design. I turn it into entertainment design. I turn it into a civilian design. There has to be companies like myself that have the same perspective. That's my goal right there. I'm not going to go in public and talk pro or con or vote against or vote for. No, no, no. I think there needs to be a change. I can implement the change. I am the change. My video game system and the games don't have to come out on Xbox, Nintendo, or Sony, or any other combination, right? I can create my own. And then once that's a success, then we can diversify and allow every other video game system to have it. I'm more interested in writing video games than I am interested in writing songs or poems or comic books or even anything else that I could design, because the video games are interactive. It's already visual, it's already audio, and you're already engaged into it. I feel that that is one of the best avenues to be creative, and the payoff is not bad. Video games are $100. 5, 10 years are going to be $200. As a matter of fact, Eric Sermon mentioned in a podcast recently, cell phone bills used to be $2,000 a month. Who do you think cell phones were for? They were for billionaires. Regular people have that, pay 200, 300 a month and complain. The engineering version of ChatGPT is probably going to cost you a few $1,000s a month. That's the new cell phone. Think about it. If you're not willing to invest a few $1,000s in hardware software, how can you build a company that strives for more? What does that say about you? You're not even supporting local businesses. Everything is interconnected. Even the events that we put together are all interactive. This is the direction that technology is heading towards. So what are we going to do? We're going to complain that things are changing. We're going to stay out because we want to speculate. No, we need to be involved. Every country, every state, every city, every parish, every borough has investment firms. They have banks. They have venture capital. Who needs to knock on 10,000 doors? You need to knock on 10,000 doors. One of our business partners in Dubai, we have a real estate development. Shout out to Jacob and Company, one of my jewelers. Not my only jeweler, but one of my favorite ones. Shout out to Happy Jewelers. Shout out to CRM. Shout out to producer Michael. Shout out to Gus Villa. Shout out to Harlem Bling. Yeah, shout out to Harlem Bling. All these people are diversifying. Well, this is a real estate development. It's the highest tower, goes into the clouds in Dubai. We are taking deposits on it. Please hit me up if you need any information. They're offering 10-year visas and tax deferment if you purchase real estate. And the developer is also developing the Bugatti building. Right now, they're working on that construction. This is just two examples. In our portfolio, I think we have like 20-something properties in development right now. Obviously, I'm only involved in that one project, but I know about the other projects, and I'm building the bridge. That primary real estate developer, he was turned down 10,000 times. You cannot be surprised that now he's heading one of the best real estate programs overseas. And why not? Why not? What's wrong with that? So if he's able to reach quantum level success, guaranteed after these 10,000 hours, there's going to be 10,000 emails, 10,000 texts, 10,000 phone calls, 10,000 pitch decks, 10,000 business proposals, 10,000 business plans, 10,000 no's, followed by 10,000 yeses. On the other side of your challenge is your success. Every time the blessing is coming, there's going to be challenges right here. Where are you in the spectrum of life? I go from negotiating $700-800 million in Bitcoin to having all these challenges to now the deal closes tomorrow. Now what? Is your heart in the right place? Do you belong as part of this project? Or have you yourself found a door outside of this project, outside of this company, outside of this investment, outside of these industries and trades, outside of these products and services? You did that to yourself. Sayonara. I was a kid from Harlem and the Bronx with a dream. I was a kid from the Dominican Republic and Puerto Rico with a dream. My family comes from the villages. There's no roads. All I ever had was my faith in God and the faith in my dreams. That's it. Dreams come true. Now my granddaughter, a year, 1 month old, owner of the company. Sadly, investments such as these brick and mortar locations, now I'm selling them, I'm giving them away because they don't fit into my future goals and plans. Every day I look for an opportunity to give one of these away because God's been really good to me. They've done phenomenal. They've done more than I could have ever imagined. I got into these investments during my mother's era. You know what I mean? My mother's retired already. It's time to pass it on as a good sign of faith. I don't even want the headache associated with some of these investments because the stress costs more in potential. This is why you can't raise your voice. This is why you can't say bad words. This is why you can't get mad. This is why you can't engage with anything that's negative when you're working in this space. There's a reason why in Facebook, there's a game room to chill. In Apple, there's a game room to chill. In Google, there's a game room to chill. It's a chill spot at work. You could chill all day, or you could work all day, or you could balance out. Chill half the day, work half the day. Or you could work in spurts, chill, work in a spurt, chill, work in a spurt, chill. The company keeps growing because we understand stress management is 98% of your work. I don't care what industry or what trade. If people's stress level is at 2%, they're going to excel 98% in everything they do. Communication, thought process, engagement, organization, anything that they have to do, all of their tasks, they're going to add a little bit of magic, a little bit of flair, a little bit of their love in everything they do. So what happens? Positivity is infectious. One positive thing, another positive thing, another positive thing. Before you know it, boom, success. Success. It's like a drum. That's just millions and billions and millions and billions. And it gets louder. Millions and billions and billions and trillions. And it gets louder. And it just keeps going. One moment could change your life, or you could stay the same. No retreat from destiny. The choice is yours. What do I want to convey to my students? It takes a lot of integrity for Patrick Bet-David to walk away from a $50-100 million deal, and in a few years turns it into a $2, $3, $4, $500 $1 million deal, and then in 2, 3, 4 years turns that into the New York Yankees. What did he know back then? What was his insight back then? So I could turn down $400 million. I could turn down $800 million. I could turn down $989 million. I could turn down $1.5 billion. I could turn down $2 billion. I could turn down $2.25 billion at the time. That's not even including EBITDA. I was giving them everything at cost. The catalog has doubled since then. This is what the value has done. This is what it does every day. Based on real market data points. What's the deal right now? The Warner Brothers deal. What's bigger than that? Prince is my favorite artist, right? I love Michael Jackson too. And I worked for Michael, but I'm the new version of Prince, or I would have been in Warner Brothers. Not Bruno Mars, At Sony, I would have been the new Michael Jackson. Universal, I would have been the new everybody they got over there. What is their legacy? How hard did they have to fight for their legacies? And were they able to sustain their legacies? This is the opportunity. They taught me the best of the best. They taught me the whole business. They taught me exactly what I needed to negotiate. They taught me what was good and what was not good. Then I have so many examples: 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s, 2020s. Bad deal after 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 bad deal. Artists and career getting destroyed and crushed over and over and over again. And you hear horror stories you never heard before coming to the limelight. That's for us alumni to learn and say, yo, we're going to take a different path and a different route. And guess what? When you do that, everybody tries to pull you back. No, it's never been done before. It's never been done like this. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. Big man, yo. See, oh, he got to go. Yo. Didn't see me. I had to ask for Shorty's thing. So, you get what I'm trying to say? Let's put all of this into perspective. Where do we go from here? As a family, as a tribe, as a clan, as a group of people. Shout out to all my family, all my friends, all my business partners, my peers, my colleagues, my clients, and my customers. You are my inspiration. You're the reason why I work so hard every single day. I don't hold nothing back. This should put everything into perspective. So I believe in my heart, with my faith, my spirit, and my soul, that I have conveyed everything I wanted to convey to you guys. Now, let's see how we are as far as charging in the digital platform. Oh, we have a missed phone call. Let me send a quick message. Shout out to my whole family. So on the 19th, as you know, Milani will be 1 year and 1 month officially. From a medical standpoint, it's the 18th, but don't get me started on that. And from a medical standpoint, babies are in the womb for 10 months, not 9. But most people, you ask, 9 months. I don't know nothing about medicine. Now, let's go to the markets. 138.23, 138.24, right? Kobe, right? All right, let us begin. Here we go, baby. And we're gonna put some clients up for sale. Yo, what up, Miss Charlie? What up,
brother?
Yo, teaching an engineering class.
Engineering?
I do it every day.
Oh my God, engineering is a lot of.
No, but I cover everything: business, technology, medicine, law, design, art. You already know design
I
is
know
my
how
thing.
you are, bro. Yeah, I know what you're about.
How you been, man?
Well, got these things showing up on me. I'm going to go to the hospital here in a minute.
Okay.
Get them looked at. Came here to see if they had any food. They were throwing away because I haven't eaten in 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
Starving, but they ain't got nothing here, so.
Okay.
Oh well. Stay hungry, I guess.
No, just pass by my office later. I'll have some food and stuff like that. I'll get something.
Yeah, all
Yeah, I
right.
got your back. I'll be in my office like an hour or two.
Okay.
So if you have anything to do, just do that and just pass through, and I'll get something. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you.
All right then. I don't have any cash. If not, I would have bought you at least a coffee or something like that. You want me to get the app though? Can you get a senior coffee? Ask them if they sell you a senior coffee.
They will.
They will. Okay, so here.
What size, small?
No, get a lot of seniors for you. Yeah. Here. Find out how much it is. Mr. Charlie, here you go. Ask them, Mr. Charlie, ask them how much it is. Not paying a look. There's like $1 something there. Ask the lady.
Okay.
If it's the lady with the glasses, that's my girlfriend. Tell her to hook you up. And tell her send me her phone number so I can call her. Yeah, hold on. Let me pull it up for you right now. Okay. Let me give you. Oh, okay. I see what you mean. Hold on. I got you. Give me one quick second.
Take your time, bro.
I got you. Don't forget to ask for a number, Charlie. I've been waiting.
A number?
Yeah, tell her. I want her number.
Yeah, she knows. I told you were getting a number.
Okay. Or ask her, if she writes hers, I'll send her mine. You know what I'm saying? That way I know she's interested. I don't want to call if she doesn't want to. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I liked her for a little bit. I've been wanting to talk to her. Hold on. Let me get out of here. Because that's what I was thinking. You're definitely going to need the app. But I'm just so you know, I'm still live streaming so my students can hear you.
That's fine. I'm not saying nothing.
All right. Hold on. There it is. Let me see. Hold on. Look, I'm going to give you the actual platform, okay?
Okay.
So that's the code. You're going to show her that, and she can put in her number there.
Okay.
And call my phone, and I'll send her a text. So back to where we are, right? At the end of the day, all we can do is our best. We can research, we can study the market, and we can kind of build from there. Every single day, we can kind of build from there. You know what I mean? And we try our best. My advice to you entrepreneurs is do the same thing. Once you have your business plan, you have your product or service, you've done all your research, you met with your loved ones, your friends, your family members, your peers, your colleagues, all those things. Now you're going to start responding to every one of these companies. And if you have an Instagram that is personal, create one for your business. Build a network for your business. So when you're reaching out, people understand that even if you are a public figure, that this is basically
30 cents.
personal. It was only 30 cents?
No, I still need 30 cents.
Oh, you still need
You gave me $1.70 or something like that. You gave me $1.40.
Oh, it's supposed to be $1.
Really?
Yeah.
You just said it's more than that.
Okay. No, probably because
cool.
the code, I don't have. Let me see. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna give you my card. You're gonna pay with Bitcoin. Just tell her tap pay.
Tap pay?
Yeah, tell her tap pay. And yeah, just tap for whatever the difference is. Just tap pay.
Yeah, we didn't have to use it. Somebody gave it to me, 30 cents.
Okay. And she didn't put her number in the thing?
Yeah, she used the phone, yeah.
No, she has to call it and dial it. She has to type it in and dial it. And tell her write it down.
We're good, yeah. She just typed it in the computer over here.
No. Her phone number. Look, tell her that I want her number. Write it down. I want to give her mine.
Okay, I'll
just ask her discreetly. Yeah. So, long story short, this is how it works. Give me one quick second. I gotta stay focused. So I'm packing and macking in back of the. All right. Let's go with. First of all, let's check the markets. All right. Let's go to commodities, right? So let's start with commodities. Let's check the markets. Let's see what have been the market changes as these huge deals are happening, right? As these huge deals are going on. I think gold stands in the green 0.44%, 4,324.20 at time of recording. Silver stands in the red 0.84%, 63.53. Platinum in the green 2.54%, 1,843.79. Palladium in the green 1.71%, 1,508.75. Copper 3M in the green 1.22%, 11,655.50. Now let's go to chocolate for the lovebirds, right? In the red 6.70%, 5,875 even. Coffee in the red 1.52%, $389.10 a pallet. Orange juice down, which is good, 0.06%, 163.05. Not bad. Now let's go to currencies. We're gonna go top 10. You guys are ready? We're gonna go rapid fire. Athena, USDE, Hyperliquid, Chainlink, Stellar Lumens, Cardano, Binance Coin, USD Coin, Tether Coin, Solana, XRP, Ripple, Unis, SED, LEO, Tron, Sui, Zcash, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Monero, and Bitcoin. XRP Ripple, never, but it is in the green 1.68%, $1.09, 32,125 of a penny. Bitcoin 87,275 and 258 of a penny. Monero number 2 in the green 3.96%, $425.19, 745 of a penny. Ethereum in the red 1.08%, 2,932 and 9,690 of a penny. Dogecoin in the green 1.26%, Bitcoin Cash in the green 2.18%, Litecoin in the green 1.19%, Sui Coin in the green 2.74%, Tron in the green 2.72%. Solana in the green 0.30%, Binance Coin in the green 1.37%, Stellar Lumens in the green 0.39%, Chainlink in the green 0.26%. Biggest losers: Ethereum, Zcash, Unis, SED, LEO, Tethercoin, Cardano, Hyperliquid, and Athena. So Solana, yeah, but Solana's still holding up pretty good. Still behind Monero, about 3.2%. Not bad. All right, now the moment you've all been waiting for. Let me check the bonds. U.S. 10-year government bond in the red, 0.48%, 4.1948. 5-year note interest. Okay, now we can move on. I see Pfizer in the news already. So let's see. This is as of yesterday. I believe we did this module already. Okay. Crypto tech news. All right. See if thing get his call. I think he left. All right. Databricks valuation may reach 134 billion. The data analytics and AI software firm Databricks is raising $4 billion in Series L funding, will increase the company's valuation to 134 billion. CEO Ali Goldsey said and told the Wall Street Journal on Tuesday. The tech company topped 4.8 billion in annual revenue run rate at the end of October, a significant increase from 4 billion announced a few months ago. Goldstein attributed the growth to the fact that companies are creating data-intensive applications that use AI and need platforms like Databricks to be their back-end database. Furthermore, the CEO said that Databricks intends to invest the funds raised in its data analytics products and AI software, but also allow its employees to sell their shares on the secondary market. It also plans to hire AI researchers and employ thousands of workers in the United States, Europe, Asia, and Latin America. Amazon Hub, JP Morgan backed startup partners with Amazon. Slow, a San Francisco based financial technology company backed by JP Morgan Chase and Company, and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman told CNBC on Tuesday that it is teaming up with Amazon.com Incorporated to allow the latter's sellers to use a reusable line of credit. See, that's the thing. They want to keep giving you lines of credit. They want to close the books good for 2025, right? So very quickly, let us blast off, right? Give me one quick second. Let's go. Let's go Bloomberg and tune into the Manager's Playbook on YouTube. They're broadcasting their episode live right now. So make sure you guys check that out. Give me one quick second. Give me one quick second. We're gonna have to wait for this thing to.
Yeah, these radars and things like that. How do you bring the energy to get on those platforms? Because, I mean, in my opinion, editorial that doesn't nearly have the amount of power that it used to have back in the day, right? I don't even know if editorial really matters anymore outside of like vanity because it's so lean back, right?
Yeah. Well, editorial now is like reflecting what algorithmically is pushing.
Exactly.
You know, so
it's kind of like radio.
Yeah.
Like radio or something.
Yeah, like it's just like, hey,
Get out of here real quick.
So how do you get to the top?
Make sure you guys give it a thumbs up, like, subscribe, and share.
Content. It's like these are your bullets.
There's no shortcuts.
Yeah, it's like the content drives discovery drives consumption. Consumption, it's all like levels to it.
Yeah.
Everything is like broken down to like every time you try to figure out how to do something, you gotta say, okay, what's the shorter version of it? That's what's gonna get me there.
Check it out.
If you have a movie, you better cut down to 2-minute versions. In those 2 minutes, you gotta clip under 15 seconds. And those 15 seconds are the bullets.
We'll do a module on this tonight, but there's a few more that I have to go over. Give me one quick second. All right, let's go Bloomberg, and we're gonna go China show because we already did the breakdown for.
Anything that could happen at any given moment, right? Something could happen. It's like takes over the attention.
Yeah, let's go China show.
9 a.m. in Shanghai, Shenzhen, and here in Hong Kong, you're watching the China Show. I'm Yvonne Pham. We're fighting down the open of markets in Greater China. Top stories this morning. Asian stocks trading cautiously as investors rein in risk ahead of the release of the key U.S. data, including that November jobs report. And China's weak economic numbers prompting a debate on its policy path next year. State media playing up Xi Jinping's call to boost domestic demand and warning against chasing, quote, reckless GDP expansion. Also ahead, China wants sweetens in terms of its
now you guys can have a little bit in the back.
After creditors rejected its initial
JP Morgan
proposal.
backed startup partners with Amazon. Slow, a San Francisco-based financial technology company backed by JP Morgan Chase and Company, and OpenAI CEO Sam Altman told CNBC on Tuesday that it is teaming up with Amazon.com Incorporated to allow the latter's sellers to use a reusable line of credit. So it's like a guaranteed credit loan. I'm assuming for people that are working at the mega factories, right? Mega distribution centers. With this, Amazon sellers in the United States, will be able to apply for and access capital directly from their accounts with approvals in real time. To be eligible, vendors will have to have been operating for at least 1 year, so 1 year prior credit history, and their annual revenue has to be over 100,000. So of course, if it's corporate level financing, it's going to be that much. Slope co-founder Alice Deng stated that independent sellers are the backbone of Amazon and e-commerce in general, adding that more than 60% of the tech giant's sales are generated by them. An Amazon spokesperson welcomed the partnership, mentioning that Amazon selling partners financing tools will expand. Amazon.com stands in the red range of 0.08%, 222.36. General Motors to integrate Apple Music in future vehicles. That's our catalog. We have a deal on the table for a label situation with Apple. General Motors Corporation announced on Monday that it will incorporate Apple Music in its future vehicles, with the app rolling out in select 2025 and newer Cadillac and Chevrolet models. The automaker stated that Apple Music will utilize GM software platform as well as the car's processing power and audio systems, noting that the audio streaming will be standard for all 2025 and newer vehicles in the United States and Canada through the OnStar Basics subscriptions at no additional cost. We are bringing the Apple Music app to GM vehicles in a way that takes full advantage of our industry-leading audio capabilities. General Motors Vice President of Global Product Management, Tim Tuerto, said, "It's the latest example of how we're expanding entertainment choices built directly into our vehicles," he added. General Motors Company stands in the Green Ranger, 0.27%, 82.20. Apple Incorporated stands in the red, 0.29%, 273.31. OpenAI said to have tapped former Google executive. OpenAI is strengthening its deal-making ambitions with the appointment of former Google executive Albert Lee as head of mergers and acquisitions. The information reported on Tuesday, citing people familiar with the matter. Lee previously handled corporate development for Google Cloud and DeepMind. He is set to begin his role in January and will report to OpenAI Chief Financial Officer Sarah Friar. His arrival follows the recent recruitment of former Amazon executive Torben Severson, who leads business development and partnerships, while Lee will concentrate specifically on acquisitions. Alphabet A stands in the red, 0.14%, 307.79. And that's it. So now we're going to have to go to market news. Let me see. Tell you what, let's see if we can find it right here. Hold on. And you're hearing it from the top. President Xi and his call to boost consumption is in focus today. And really a day after that, we saw that activity data showed the economy remained under pressure. This is from the party's journal Qiu Shi, and other state-run papers published speeches that the president made over the past decade on this very subject. She is quoted as saying that boosting domestic demand. Okay, let's go Google News. Let's go to. Actually, you know what? Let's do a broad search. Let's just go Warner Brothers. Aha. We have an article from the BBC. And we have an option to select full coverage of the story. Thank you, Google. Shout out to Google. Shout out to Chrome. Right? All right. A nightmare. The battle over Warner Brothers is turning Hollywood upside down. by Mr. Ryan Morris in Hollywood. No highlight. But thank you, Mr. Morris, for writing today's article and sponsoring today's show.
And in another year, he said that boosting domestic demand is not about boosting government spending. He said it's about
So here we go.
institutional
14th of December 2025. Disaster, catastrophe, and nightmare. That's how Hollywood's creative workers describe the fall of the once mighty Warner Brothers as Netflix and Paramount battle to buy the historic studio and Tinseltown braces for more upheaval and job losses. Warner's decline and impending sale, whether it's to Paramount, Skydance as a whole, or to Netflix, cut up in parts, is being mourned in Hollywood, where a historic production slump has already battered the entertainment industry. The loss of the studio, which has created iconic films ranging from Casablanca and Goodfellas to Batman and Harry Potter, likely means more job cuts and definitely means one less buyer of film and TV projects. You know what I realized? We're running a record. I'm bugging, yo. All right. Wait. Okay. Interviews with dozens of actors, producers, and camera crews by the BBC revealed an industry attempting to weigh the lesser of the two evils, controlled by a tech giant blamed for killing movie theaters, Netflix, or billionaires seen as too cozy with President Trump, Paramount. Yo, this is amazing, yo. David Ellison is a right-wing billionaire Trumper, a camera assistant set of the Paramount Skydance CEO, who is the son of billionaire Oracle co-founder and close Trump ally Larry Ellison. Yo, this is so hilarious. We're gonna put that in the class, right? Netflix is much more historically inclined to not micromanage production. If Netflix gets the deal they want, they will buy Warner Brothers' crown jewels, the 102-year-old studio, HBO, and its vast archive of films and TV shows, leaving Warner's legacy TV networks like CNN, TNT Sports, and Discovery for another buyer. So that's a key point. We're going to stop it right there because we can write a paper on that. So this is all the time that we have. But before we go, please open up your marketplace and let's go on the search bar. Please type in Brian Tracy. Open up the 21 Success Secrets. Let me see something. Okay. Now, let's open. Today is the 16th, so let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I like this one. Success secret number 16. All right, let's pause this real quick and let us introduce the beautiful sounds of Mozart so we can finish strong. All right, let's bring this back. Word. Alright, you guys ready? Let's rock and roll. Imagination is more important than facts. Albert Einstein. Here is some more good news. You are a potential genius. You are smarter than you have ever imagined. You have more raw brain power and creative ability than you have ever used up until now. Your brain has 10 billion cells, each of which is connected to as many as 20,000 other cells by a complex network of neurons and dendrites. This means that the possible combinations and permutations of cells in your brain are greater than the number of molecules in the known universe. Your ability to develop ideas to help you succeed is unlimited. This means that your ability to succeed is unlimited as well. Your creativity is stimulated by three factors. First, intensely desired goals. Second, pressing problems. And third, focused questions. The more you focus your mind on achieving your goals, solving your problems, or answering the tough questions about your business and personal life, the smarter you become and the better your mind works for you in the future. Your brain, your creativity is like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger and more resilient it becomes. You can actually increase your intelligence and your IQ by disciplining yourself to think creatively all day long. And remember, creativity is just another word for improvement. Every time you come up with an idea to improve some part of your work, to find newer, better, faster, cheaper, or easier ways to accomplish a result, you are functioning at the highest level of creativity. Just as you develop your muscles by straining them with physical training, you develop your mental muscles by straining them as well. Here is an exercise for you to develop your brain power and unlock your inner genius. Take a clean sheet of paper and write your most important goal or most pressing problem at the top of the at the top in no at the top in the form of a question. For example, you could write, how can I double my income over the next 24 to 36 months? Now, discipline yourself to write at least 20 different answers to your question. Select one of your answers and take action immediately. You will be amazed at the results. Here's today's action exercise. Write down your most pressing problem or your most intensely desired goal. Then imagine that this problem was solved perfectly or this goal was achieved in an ideal way. What would the solution or achievement look like? What could you do immediately to bring about this result? Remember, action is everything. So, not bad. Now, we can continue. I left the module up, so we'll do chapters 3 and 4 because that's the ending of chapter 2, and we shall continue. So, let us get a good prayer in. You guys are ready? Thank you, Heavenly Father, for the blessings in our lives. We thank you, Heavenly Father, for the blessings in our lives. We worry not about what we don't have because we're in the process of getting it. And in that journey, everything we do is in your name. Always remember to dream big because dreams come true. It happened to me. I know for a fact it's going to happen to you. So, have an amazing day today. May you conquer everything in your path. May everything that you touch turn into solid gold and beautiful silver bars and beautiful and precious gemstones such as moissanite or laboratory diamonds or any laboratory grown gem. And once again, always remember to dream big because dreams come true. It happened to me, and I know for a fact it's going to happen to you. So we'll see you in a little bit. I got to continue on my journey. I got to go on my workout. Got to go to my office, customer service, presidential, and we're going to do what we do best. So we'll see you in a little bit. Peace out. Dreams come true. And we'll be back faster than you can go like this. You guys have the best teacher in the world, man. That's it. Love you guys. What I do. Peace out, Nolani. See you in a little bit, baby.